You're watching Filter Kaapi, the channel that gives you accurate, reliable and most importantly, fact-based news from the world of education. My name is S Sudhir. We have been looking very closely at the petition seeking the postponement or the non-postponement of the JEE and NEET. Remember, both these exams are scheduled by the National Testing Agency for the month of September 2020. So in this video, we will look at what are the best legal arguments that are likely to be put by both sides in the Supreme Court on Monday. And as students, as concerned parties, you should be aware of where you stand, what are the arguments that are likely to be put forth, arguing for postponement, arguing against postponement. Now, day before yesterday night, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, the chief scientist of the World Health Organization, the WHO, had put out a tweet, and in my opinion, those seeking postponement of the two examinations should definitely highlight this particular tweet, right? Because it concerns each one of us, students, non-students. Now, Dr. Swaminathan tweeted that while corona infection spreads mainly by droplets from person to person, it can also be through small droplets or aerosols that remain in air for some time and through fomites. Dr. Soumya Swaminathan cautioned that in closed, crowded settings, aerosol spread could happen and precautions should be taken. The science is evolving. Those were her words in that particular tweet. As I said, this ought to be the crux of the legal argument in the Supreme Court on Monday by Advocate Alak Srivastav to ask if the NTA and by extension the Education Ministry is taking into account the health risk if 16 lakh plus students come out to different examination centers on the 13th of September for NEET, or close to 1.5 to 2 lakh students appear at different exam centers every single day between the 1st and the 6th of September for the JEE. The numbers, let's admit, are going to be quite daunting for any kind of authority to ensure that there is absolutely zero health risk. Now, there are other legal arguments that Advocate Alak Srivastava will be expected to make, because with 65,000 cases every single day since the 7th of August and India already crossing the 25 lakh mark, a sense of panic, you would admit, has set in. That any exposure to the outside world, particularly where there are so many students, invigilators, parents, exam staff are assembled, is definitely fraught with risk, right? Now, the authorities who conducted the Karnataka Common Entrance Test, the KCET, on July 30 and 31 and the B.Ed examination in Uttar Pradesh last Sunday did not exactly cover themselves with glory. Yes, at some centers in Karnataka, the situation was fairly okay, but at many other centers, social distancing went for a toss. Definitely so in the case of Uttar Pradesh. There was no discipline maintained outside the examination centers. Now, look at it this way. If these two entrance examinations had actually been conducted very well, that would have given a sense of confidence to all these students, 26 lakh, both JEE and NEET combined, that things will be fine on the day of the examination. But because of the kind of scenes that we saw during the conduct of both these examinations in Karnataka and in Uttar Pradesh, there is a sense of trust deficit with the authorities, whether the authorities will really ensure that all the standard operating procedures are complied with in order to keep each one of these 26 lakh students absolutely safe. That sense of confidence is not there with the students and their parents and guardians at this point in time. Then, of course, there is a case of eminent people like former President of India, Dr. Pranab Mukherjee, legendary singer SP Balasubramaniam, testing positive for corona. The question being asked is, now these are people who keep themselves well sanitized, fairly well sanitized, as compared to the students who will be going through a rush on the day of the examination at the different examination centers, or even while traveling to and back from the examination centers. So if these eminent people are contracting the infection, how safe will be the students? And of course, the case of Love Agrawal, an IAS officer of Andhra Pradesh cadre, joint secretary in the Health Ministry, Union Health Ministry, and the face of the government's fight against corona, testing positive is a point that definitely cannot be missed. Now, what is likely to be the argument on behalf of the petitioners who are saying that the exams should be held on schedule? They are talking, of course, about the fact that, for one, the courts are not expected to interfere in policy matters, especially relating to academics and education, and several past judgments, verdicts of different courts of the land, including the Supreme Court, will be cited to emphasize this point that Supreme Court, or any court for that matter, is not expected to interfere in policy matters. That has to be left to the experts. That is a strong point, and as I mentioned, a strong legal precedent. Then the petitioners are also going to insist, just like Alak Srivastav, that what you need is more centers, better planning in order to ensure social distancing and implementation of the SOPs. And also, one of the petitioners told me that the government will be asked to come out with a concrete roadmap, a very clear roadmap, in order to ensure that all the students are safe. So both the set of petitioners are going to insist on proper implementation of the SOPs. It's not as though the petitioners who are saying that the exam should be held on schedule are saying do the exams in whatever manner you do. No, they are also insisting on proper health safeguards. The other point that they are making is that the students have been preparing for just too long and they need to get over with it. There is a sense of fatigue which is of course set in, but more important than the study fatigue is the fact that there is no guarantee that things are going to be any better in the month of November in case the exams are postponed, or in the month of December. So just like everything is trying to return to normal and adjusting to the new normal, these exams should also be conducted while ensuring everyone is safe. So those are the arguments that are likely to be made by the other side, which is saying that the exam should be held on schedule. Once again, just like in the previous video, I would want to emphasize that the judges do not go by emotions. They do not look at emotions. They go by hard facts of the case and the strength of the legal arguments. That is something very important. They focus on facts, which is precisely what here on Filter Kaapi we also do. We focus on facts. We do not focus on opinion or views, because those, frankly, in a court of law do not quite matter. Okay, so that is as far as the legal arguments that you are likely to see in the Supreme Court on Monday during the first hearing relating to the postponement or non-postponement of the NEET and the JEE is concerned. Do tune in to Filter Kaapi for news that you can trust. Thank you very much for watching.